Welcome to the CNC Enhancements Whisper Flow Seal Replacement video. In your kit you will have found a gasket, the P1000 seal, a PVC coupling, and 2 containers of sealant. You will also need a small block of wood like this. After removing the pump from the hydrocool cart, you will need to separate the basket assembly from the motor assembly. You will do this by removing the 6 bolts surrounding the basket assembly. Separate the 2 units and set the basket assembly aside. The next step is to remove the diffuser. Using a 3/32 Allen wrench, remove the 2 440 screws on each side. Pull the diffuser straight out. Next, you need to remove the impeller. First, you need to remove the cap on the rear of the motor to allow access to the motor shaft. Using a 1/2-inch open-end wrench and a Phillips screwdriver, the impeller is held in with a left-hand threaded screw. While turning the screwdriver clockwise and holding the shaft with the 1/2-inch wrench, remove the screw completely. While still holding the motor shaft with the 1/2-inch wrench, rotate the impeller counterclockwise to remove it. On the inside of the impeller you will find half of the seal assembly. This is a ceramic disc surrounded by a rubber gasket. Remove it carefully, avoiding damage to the impeller. Next, you will need to remove the 4 bolts that attach the seal plate to the motor assembly. Using a soft-headed hammer, like the one you see here, carefully knock the second part of the seal assembly out of the plate. Around the inside of the seal plate you will find a gasket. Carefully remove it. Using alcohol, the seal plate needs to be cleaned. The surfaces that the new seal will be fitted into need to be cleaned of any old sealant, and the groove around the outside edge of the seal plate needs to be cleaned as well. You should also clean the mating surface of the basket assembly. When you remove the 2 seals from the box, be careful not to touch the ceramic surface. Before you can place the new P1000 seal into the seal plate, you need to coat the surfaces with Dow 732 sealant. Apply a thin layer of Dow 732 sealant to the outside surface of the P1000 seal. Don't use too much. Now, place the seal squarely into the hole. Using the PVC coupling and your block of wood, carefully seat the seal fully into the seal plate. As you can see here, the seal is flush with the outer surface. Inspect the surface of the ceramic seal. Even if you haven't touched it, you may find that it needs to be cleaned. If so, clean it with some alcohol. After you have cleaned it, using a lubricant, we've used LP3, moisten the rubber seal. Carefully insert the seal into the impeller. Be careful not to touch the ceramic surface. If you do, clean it with alcohol. Next, reassemble the seal plate to the motor assembly. Reinstall the impeller, screwing it on clockwise. Holding the motor shaft with a 1/2-inch wrench, tighten the impeller. Reinstall the left-hand threaded screw. Next, the diffuser is reattached. You now need to prepare the gasket. First, clean it with alcohol, and then coat it with the Dow 111 sealant. Reinstall the basket assembly to the motor assembly. When you tighten the bolts, use a star pattern, tightening the bolts across from each other. This will ensure that the gasket seats evenly. Don't forget the cap on the back of the motor assembly. Now the pump is ready to go back into the hydrocool cart. Remember, before you fire it up, make sure that you have filled it with coolant. Running this pump without coolant will damage the seals that you just replaced. We hope this video has answered all your questions, but should you have any, please give us a call at CNC Enhancements at 818-347-7983. Thank you.